Hello, I'm Dr. Zimmerman and this is a video about the basics on Second Life building. It is aimed at a real beginner and I'm not going to cover all topics that could be in a beginner's course, just what you need to know to get you started. We access Second Life by means of a viewer. There's the official viewer provided by ZimberLab, and then there are a lot of third-party viewers. I would not recommend the official viewer for building. It's not very practical and it lacks a lot of options that you can find at other viewers. I'm using the Firestorm viewer, which is very suitable for building, and it has a great support group. It's the most used viewer in Second Life as well. So everything I'm going to talk about will go for the Firestorm viewer. If you don't like it, I know the Singularity viewer is very suitable for building as well. To be able to build, we have to go into edit mode. Currently, I'm in the regular browsing mode and I cannot manipulate or modify my prims. To go into edit, the most easy, right-click a prim and choose edit. And the building window opens here at the center tab, which is edit mode. Now, as long as this window is open, I stay into edit and I can simply select any of my prims. Even if I would select the floor here, which is locked, I cannot manipulate it, but still I stay into edit. Now, if I close this window, I'm back into the regular browsing mode. Another way to go into edit is by the shortcut Ctrl+3. Now notice here in this regular mode, my cursor arrow is a single arrow, and I'm going to go into edit by Ctrl+3. And see, there's this little cross next to my cursor arrow now to indicate I'm in edit. Now, if I select a prim, this manipulator appears with colored arrows. Those stand for the three axes of our 3D world, the X, Y, and Z axis. And I can simply grab such an arrow to move my prim along this axis. Like that. Here for the Y and the Z. Like that. We also have these triangle handles, which allow us to move it on two axes at the same time. Like that. Now, if I hold Control, my manipulator changes into this rotation manipulator, and I can rotate on an axis, like that. Or I can simply grab this ball and freely rotate my prim around. Now, if I hold Ctrl-Shift, my manipulator changes into this resizer. I can grab such a wide handle here and resize my prim as a whole. Or I can grab a colored one and again resize on an axis. Like that. If I mark here at the building window, stretch both sides, it will resize like this. By holding Shift, we can select several prims at once. I have this one here selected. I will hold down Shift and I can simply add the other prims to my selection. And then I can move them or rotate them or resize them all together. Another way for selecting several prims is just dragging this box around them and they will all be selected as well. Those I can link them. Here at the building window, there's this link button and then they become one object. If I select them, they will be all selected and they will act as one object. I can unlink them again here and then again I will have separate prims. Now, if you're going to make a link set, the last one selected will become the root. So I have this one, I hold down Shift, select that one, and that one. This is the last selected, I link, and this one is now the root, the parent of this object. The other three are like the children. Notice that the root is yellow, highlighted, and the children are blue, highlighted. Now, an important feature in Second Life building is Shift Drag Copy. I have my prim here selected. I will hold down Shift and I will drag by this arrow. And what I do, I drag a copy. Well, to be correct, I leave a copy behind because this one is my original. That one is a copy. So just hold down Shift and drag a copy, which is left behind. This is my original. Now, there is a danger. As we hold down Shift for selecting several prims, but we also hold down Shift for dragging our copy, we have to be careful not to mix those two actions. If I'm selecting several prims, and I would hit the manipulator here by accident, just slightly, I would have Shift drag a copy, and maybe without knowing it. Later on, say I select everything like that and link it up, I will have doubled my prims in my build. So be careful about that. Okay, now I'm going to talk about edit linked. I have this link set here, one object, and it is possible to modify and manipulate the prims inside this link set without having to unlink them. And I can do this by marking this checkbox here, edit linked. If I click now one of the prims, it gets selected separately, and I can do almost any action on it independently. If I undo the edit linked here, this has become my object. This is the result. I still have the same object, just this one has been changed. I can also use this to select one or a few prims I want to unlink from the object. Say I go into edit linked, select this one here, the orange one, and now I hit unlink. Well, here I will still have my object, and I've just have unlinked this prim from it. This can also be used to quickly change the root of an object. I have this link set here, and currently the blue one here, yellow highlighted, is my root prim. Say I want to change this to the white one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going into edit linked and unlink the white one from my object that I still have here. And now I'm going to reselect it so it becomes the last selected and link it up. And I've changed my root from the blue one to the white one over there. So at the building window, we have several tabs here which allow us to further modify the object. The first one is the general tab. Here we can set the name of our object, which would be the name of the root prim in this link set. There's some more information here, but I want to talk about what's here at the bottom, the next owner permissions. These are major important in Second Life if you want to sell or distribute your work. This sets what the next owner can do with your work. The modify permission will allow the next owner to modify the object, just like you can. Copy will allow the next owner to make an unlimited amount of copies of the work, and transfer will allow the next owner to transfer your work. So selling your work with copy and transfer permissions is not the best solution business-wise, because the next owner will be able to make unlimited copies and transfer these copies. So in fact, sell your work just as you can. So in general, you want to take one of those two off. Say I take off copy. I will sell with transfer permissions. The next owner will get one copy of the work, but it's possible to transfer, to sell it. If I give copy permission and no transfer, the next owner will be able to make an unlimited amount of copies of the work, but cannot transfer them, cannot sell them. I do recommend to sell your work with modify and copy. This will allow the next owner to back up the work and make a lot of copies and modify it to his or her desires. Yeah, I do recommend this. There are several stores in Second Life, like ZimberLab, that sell their products with full permissions. You will get all the permissions on these, so you can build with them, you make as much copies as you need, and finally, when your build is done, you will be able to transfer it, to sell it. However, this does not mean you're allowed to sell it or to distribute it with these permissions both on. This is strictly forbidden by the user license. You have to take or copy or transfer off to be able to sell your work. So how does this work? You say this is my house and I'm done building. I'm going to link everything. I link it, and then I'm going to change the permission. I'm going to take transfer off, and this will go for all the prims. They will all be with the correct permissions for you to sell. Content, however, not. If there's a script inside, you will have to set these next owner permissions on the script, on the content separately. The next tab is the object tab. Here you can modify your prim by numbers. Here we have the position. Say I'm going to add a meter on the x-axis. It will move the prim. Say change the size to 2 meters, and I can also rotate it over here. Then we get to the features tab. Here I only want to mention you can turn your object into a light source and set certain parameters. And then we get to the very important texture tab.